Let's do a beer break before we get into the last section, which are the watches that I am 100% selling.
Hey, did you know it's a great day to wear a watch?
What's up, Schwartz Force? Welcome back to the channel. In case if you are new here, my name's Dave. May the Schwartz be with you. This channel is all about my journey collecting a variety of watches that fit just about any budget and style. So if you are into watches, consider subscribing. Today, we're taking a look at my entire collection that I've amassed over the last year and a half since I started my YouTube channel and started getting into watches, really. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So this first selection of watches here that I want to show you are going to be the pieces that hold a special place in my collection. So even if I don't necessarily wear them all the time, these will 100% remain in the collection. May I say that now? 100%. 99% positive these are going to remain in the collection. All right, so here we have the first collection. Again, these are the keepers. Now, I got to be honest, these two right here I actually just put into the collection because recently my nephew had ended up getting confirmed with his church, and so I decided, you know what, let's wear some really cool pieces, kind of a pairing, so to speak. So these are the only like vintage pieces that I have. This was actually gifted to me by JD, good friend. He's with the Traveling Watch Project, and so he gave this watch to me. I actually need to take it to get a repair because when I was showing my nephew how to wind it and prevent overwinding it, I was also teaching him how to like go ahead and set the time, and when I was messing with the crown, it came loose, and so I need to get this to a watchmaker repair person so they can fix that. And then this one here is my Timex Dynabeat, this really cool dial design. I've done a review on this, so that's staying in the collection just because, you know, I wore these, my nephew and I wore these for such a special moment in his life, so now they're going to stay in the collection as a result of that. Now, another watch that I don't wear that will stay in the collection is this one here. So as you can tell, this is a Rolex, but it is a replica. I won this from another YouTuber, good guy, you guys know him, Brian Tromp. So this one I won in a giveaway. And so even though I don't wear this watch because I'm not personally a fan of like replicas, being the fact that it was the first watch I had ever won in like any type of giveaway or contest, I mean, it's got to stay in the collection, and it's coming from a now friend. We kind of became friends over, you know, the internet and hanging out virtually, so to speak. And so this is a really cool watch. It has a nice little story to it. It's not perfect by any means, but you know, it's one of those things that it's just, you can show somebody like what a replica Rolex looks like, and I think that's kind of cool just to like share the story behind it. So even though I don't wear it, that's going to stay in the collection. I'll set that aside. Okay, so next up in the list is this one here, the MDC. This is the field watch version that they have, and this is just a very simple, inexpensive quartz watch. But what I like about this watch, and the reason that it will stay in the collection, is that this was the first watch ever given to me or sent in by a company to review on my YouTube channel. So MDC or Infantry had reached out to me and said, hey, we like your channel, we want to send some watches, and I got to pick from a couple. The other was more of a fashion watch, so this one really spoke to me, and I'm like, yeah, send it on over. And for the price, you know, it's got some pretty good lume, and I know it's a homage of the Seiko. I forget the reference number, but you know, it's just a cool, fun little field watch, and that, of course, is going to hold a special place in the collection because of it being the first watch I ever received. So that's cool. So we'll get that over there. Next up down here is the Brew Retrograph. Now, this watch I love. I have also the Beads of Rice bracelet for this watch, but Brew is one of those micro brands I came across, and I had just kind of kept my eye on them. A lot of their inventory was unavailable on their website. So American micro brand based out of New York City, has a really cool story behind it, and I'm a big coffee drinker, so to get these elements that tie in with kind of espresso and coffee still having that retro vibe. I love the color, this Technicolor dial and hand combination with the contrast there, just really cool, has good specs, and not a whole lot of money. So I was able to pick this one up pre-owned on eBay for a really good price, and it's going to stay in the collection because it's such a unique design and just has a really cool vibe to it. So a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. Next up, you guys, if you have been following my channel, you know that I'm a huge fan of the Blancpain 50 Fathoms, and that's what this Reef Tiger RGA 3035 is. It is a almost ringer, not quite, it's a little different, which I like that it has some unique aspects to it. It's not a complete copy or replica type of homage watch. It has its own kind of design elements to it as well, which I like and can appreciate. But the lume on this thing is just amazing. Bezel alignments just slightly off, so that's kind of annoying, as you can see there. But you know, I can overlook that because it's such a fun watch. I really like this, and the reason that I'm keeping this in the collection is I won't replace it until I actually purchase the Blancpain 50 Fathoms. So when I have the real deal, which will happen someday in the future, then I'll probably give this watch away or sell it. But for now, it's staying in the collection because I just love the look and feel of it. It always brings a smile to my face when I put this watch on. Okay, so moving up here, let's go ahead and take a look at the Frederic Constant Classics Index. Now this watch I purchased pretty early on into my collecting. Right after I'd started my YouTube channel, as I started gaining more subs, I had a 5-year wedding anniversary with my wife, and so we were deciding like, well, what do you want to get as kind of a 5-year wedding gift? So we set a budget aside. She ended up getting a really nice ring, and then I ended up splitting my money, kind of part to YouTube equipment and then the other part to getting a nice watch. I wanted something Swiss made. I wanted a dressy piece that I could wear for kind of formal occasions. And if you notice the case design on this one, the way the lugs curve down, actually makes it a little bit of a challenge with straps as far as leather straps. So I have it on the bracelet, which I really like this bracelet a lot. So you can see there. So Frederic Constant, just one of those brands that you don't want to pass up. Definitely give them a look because you can find anything, some nice affordable quartz pieces all the way up to very expensive in-house movement and unique designed pieces as well, moon phases, all that good stuff they have. So this is going to definitely stay in the collection because I purchased this for my 5-year wedding anniversary as a gift. So to mark the moment, very special piece in my collection. So that's going to, of course, stay in the collection. All right. So the Glycine Combat Sub with the bronze case, as you can see, we got some patina. And the reason I love this watch so much is because this marks the moment of hitting 1,000 subscribers on my channel. But this Glycine Combat Sub is just a great watch. Look at that textured dial. And I've done a full review on this and I talk more about it marking that moment of hitting 1,000 subscribers. So this is for sure gonna stay in the collection always. And maybe when I hit 5,000, we'll get it a little brother or a little sister to play along. All right, now next up is the Seiko Fuyugeshiki. This is the Seiko Presage. Really nice, that cocktail time with that snowflake dial, as you can see there. Just amazing, amazing dial on this watch. And this is another special piece that I purchased that, again, marks a moment in my channel with YouTube, which was when I hit 1 year of being on YouTube. And so to make it a year and build up a following and just making content, I had invested a lot of time and money into the channel. And so I wanted something kind of special. Maybe it was just an excuse to buy another watch even, but I had my eye on this Seiko Presage. These Fuyugeshikis can get pretty expensive on eBay and whatnot, but I was able to pick this up at a really good price, and it's even more special because this is not the Hardlex crystal that the watch came with, but was sent over to Brandon with case and dial, and he replaced the crystal because it had a scuff in it right around 4, and we upgraded this to the box domed sapphire crystal from Mark at Long Island Watches, and he did a phenomenal job. So for that reason also, it's going to stay in the collection and hold a very special place amongst the other watches. So really cool, love it. All right, so the last one, this is my most recent purchase, and a lot of you may not even know about this. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you may not have seen pictures of this watch. Now, This I picked up very recently after I met with the guy Mario, really cool dude I met on Clubhouse, and he lives in the same town as I do, and he has a lot of luxury watches. He deals with buying and selling luxury pieces, and he was like, hey, come on down to my shop, I'll show you around, let's take a look. And he's actually helping me find my Tudor Black Bay 41 as well. But getting back to this watch, when I looked at an IWC Pilot chronograph that he had, the Prince one, I forget the name of it, he let me hold it and it just blew me away. The quality and the heft to it, the balance that it had. And so when I saw this Alpina, as I was looking at IWCs and others, I kind of got like all those vibes. I got this bicompax design, and I'll do a full review on this watch too, don't worry about it. It's a automatic chronograph, so you can see that automatic chronograph movement there in the back, which I'll talk more about in the future, so we'll go ahead and get that started. But yeah, this is such a cool watch, and it gives me that IWC vibe, and it also has the same kind of heft and quality. When I hold this in my hand, you can tell this is not a cheap watch, and I got a really good deal on this one, guys. I think retail this thing was around $3,000. I don't know if anyone ever paid that full retail price when they were released, but it's a very special piece now in my collection, and I don't think I could part with it, and it's going to stay in the collection for now. Yeah, there you go. Okay, question of the day. What's the most significant watch in your collection? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, guys, next up is a larger selection that are kind of in a limbo phase, so to speak, and these are watches that I still enjoy wearing regularly, but I'm not ready to sell. So most likely these are going to be pieces that will eventually be upgraded in the future. And by upgraded, I mean I plan to replace them with better options that will either provide more value or have better specifications. And that does mean that most of these are either going to be sold or could possibly move to the first section of watches where they'll remain in the collection permanently. But from what I can tell, that's probably not likely to happen. All right, guys, so here's the next section of the collection. You'll notice that a lot of these watches I may not have done reviews on, and that's because they're kind of pending, but I have been wearing them. You've probably seen them on my Instagram or featured in other videos, and so I'll get to doing full reviews here in the future, but these are watches that I don't think I'm going to keep long-term, but I'm still enjoying them. Some of them I'm going to end up giving away as gifts as well, this being one of them. This watch right here we'll start with. So this is the Lobini Interlaken, and this is a mechanical hand wind. As you can see the movement there. So I will be doing some full reviews on these watches as well, but this one I'm going to end up giving away. It has a really cool story to it, so I hope you guys will stay tuned for that when the time comes. But for now, I'm just keeping this in the collection, so we'll put that to the side. Next up is the Tessel Explorer. Now the reason that this isn't staying in the first section as far as one that I would keep in the collection forever is because when I purchased the Tudor Black Bay 41, it's kind of taking the place of the Tessel Explorer. You know, the Rolex Explorer is really expensive, at least for me right now in my journey with watch collecting, and so rather than waiting longer, and you know, I could take the time and save up for the Rolex Explorer, I really do like the Tudor Black Bay 41, and I kind of like that it's for enthusiasts. They would recognize it, but it's not going to draw attention by saying Rolex on it like the Explorer would. So I kind of like that I could wear it probably out more and not be drawing unwanted attention. It's less flashy, less known. So this though does have that glide lock, so you can see there underneath. The clasp, I should say glide lock style, whatever. But yeah, really cool watch. I love this thing, guys, and I can't wait to review it for you and kind of get feedback from y'all. So for now, not selling it yet, but when I do, I'll let you guys know. Okay, so here, I know you're wondering what? He has an Invicta in the collection? I sure do. I've actually owned quite a few Invictas in the past. So this is the only one in the collection right now. I picked this up not too long ago. The reason that I own this watch is because it gives me that Zenith El Primero look, as you can see with the 3 subdials there, the way the hour markers are and the dial design, chronograph pushers. It actually has a Swiss movement in it. Very cool. And so I wanted the Invicta model that has the actual blue, gray, and black or dark gray. But I haven't been able to find one for sale. They're no longer in production, so I'm constantly on the hunt for one. But in the meantime, this is going to be part of a collaboration with a few other YouTubers. So for now, it's just kind of staying in the collection. But once I'm done with it, I'll probably either sell it or gift it. But for now, yeah, you guys get a little sneak peek at it. Oh, and I like that it doesn't have the Invicta name engraved onto the side. So I just wish Invicta would do that with all their watches. So there you go. All right, so moving on here to the age loser. Now this watch, as you can see, is a regulator watch. So each hand is doing a different function. We have running seconds here, our hour marker on the left subdial, and then our minutes here on the main dial. Has a larger date window there, so this kind of gives me those, you know, Longa vibes. And then you can see this movement is decorated really well and finished nicely. This isn't held in place with some plastic movement holder. I think these watches are the real deal. I've looked into the brand a bit more and they have some in-house movements. I haven't been able to find like that this is a modified Sellita or Etta or anything like that. So it's actually leaning me to believe that they really are designing their own movements. It says Swiss made, so I think they're using that portion where majority of the watch is using Swiss parts, but these are definitely manufactured in China from what I have experienced and learned. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because this watch is done really well and punches really hard for its price range, in my opinion. So I can't wait to do a full review on this for you guys, but check out this brand. They got some really cool stuff coming up. So yeah, we'll get to this in the future. Now here's another cool watch that I picked up recently. You guys may not know about it, but this is the Rotary Mécanique, and this is a Swiss made. It actually has an Etta movement, a hand wind Etta there in the back, and this was part of a limited edition. They only made 700. They made, I also think they did a stainless steel version as well. This here is the gold plated version. It's a bit larger than the Cartier that it's kind of paying homage to. So I think for larger wrist gentlemen, this would be a really great option. And I just have it in my collection. I don't really wear it. I saw such a good deal on this watch. I picked it up. And so I'm probably going to sell it at some point in time, but I definitely want to spend some time with it and give a full review on it. So again, stay tuned for that. Going down here to the Marchand driver chronograph on the Beads of Rice bracelet from Straps Co. Look at this thing. Tell me that's not a winner. This is so cool. So Marchand is a really cool company based out of the UK, and I can't wait for their new driver models to come out, because they're going to have full sapphire crystal, a mecha quartz movement, so some upgraded specs for really good price, and they have really unique dial designs that are coming out. I think what I may end up doing is once I pick up one of the new Mark II chronographs, I'll probably give this one away or possibly sell it. I'm probably going to give it away. It's a cool watch, so looks great on leather, looks great on metal, and just really fun and racing inspired look to it. So next up is the Gallant Panda. If you've watched my channel, you know I'm a big fan of Gallant watches, and I really enjoy working with them and giving their watches to other enthusiasts and collectors because they're really unique. So this one is staying in the collection. I don't think I would ever sell this watch, but I could see myself giving it to my nephew maybe when he gets a little bit older and his wrist is larger. He could pull this one off. And so I'll probably end up giving this to him when that time comes. So here is the Loriot. Obviously it's a sub homage, and you guys know there are plenty of Submariner homages out there, and that's part of the reason why I never did my own review on this watch. I kind of turned it into a project watch. I've been keeping this outside, and I want to see if it'll develop a patina with the dial or with the lume that'll change color. So it's kind of been my project watch, so to speak. But I don't think I'll keep this long term. Eventually I may sell it, but I kind of like the idea of just having it as a beater, and then maybe at some point in time, if it does develop a patina, you know, to be kind of a unique piece, because I don't think other people are doing that necessarily with their watches. So that's kind of cool there. And then last, we have the Tissel Marine Diver. After owning the Tissel Explorer, I had to pick up the Marine Diver. Really cool ceramic bezel. All the specs are there. Spot on kind of homage to the Submariner. And this one, as you can see, is the Starbucks or the Cermet. It has the black dial, but then the green bezel. When I bought this pre-owned, the person that I purchased from actually did include the black bezel as well. So I could always remove the green ceramic bezel and replace it with the black ceramic bezel. But I figured since I already have the Loriot, I might as well just keep this one like the Starbucks. And then I have it on the Straps Co. Look at that. Rolex style rubber Oyster Flex type of bracelet, and so, or strap, and man, super comfortable. And of course this you can actually get in the water with. So I love this watch. I'll do a review on it for you guys as well in the future, so stay tuned for that. But those are all of my kind of in limbo watches, and I know some of y'all are going to want to buy some of these, so when the time comes, make sure you keep an eye out for that. Real quick, big thank you to all you guys who have stuck through the video this far. Let's go ahead and do a quick beer break before we get into this last section, which are going to be watches that I am 100% selling. Let's do it. All right, Schwartz Force, for today's beer break, we got the Texas favorite Shiner Bock. This is the first beer I ever truly loved the taste of, and you can't go wrong. If you ever get the chance to try a Shiner Bock, I highly recommend it. And let me know what you guys are drinking, enjoying on our little beer break. On the wrist, while we do our little break, I'm rocking the De Tomaso Racoto. So just something a little different I wanted to try out. Let's get back into that state of the collection. All right, here we go. The final selection here are watches that I'm going to be actively trying to sell and get rid of. So be sure you stick around to the end of the video to find out how to purchase these watches if you might be interested in any of them. So let's get started. Oh boy, here we go. So this is the section I think you guys are going to be the most surprised about. The watches that I'm selling and have decided not to keep. And you're going to notice some pieces that I didn't think I'd be getting rid of, to be honest, but let's go ahead. Let's start over here. Okay, so I'm not gonna spend too much time because I know if you guys have questions, I'll send pictures, videos, whatever's needed. And I've done reviews on most of these watches, if not all of them. This is the Feist FM201. So this one here is an homage of the Nomos Tangente 38mm. And I put this one on the Rocos blue leather. Double deployant clasp. I just think this worked out a little bit better than the original strap that the Feist watch came with, but you could definitely swap out just about anything. This thing's a strap monster, so if you're interested, let me know. So yes, next up is the Parnas Daytona. Now, keep in mind, some of these straps I'm going to be keeping from what you see here, so I may sell them just with the original bracelet, or maybe we can work out a deal and I'll send it with the strap you like. Along with the original bracelet. So just hit me up and we'll figure out the details. But I actually don't wear this one as much as I thought that I would. And part of that tells me, you know, it's time for it to move on and let someone else enjoy it. But like I said, really great homage watch. I just don't wear it as often. All right, so here's one that I'm selling, and I know you guys are happy to see it. Part of the going, gone list is the Filippo Loretti Florence in matte black. It's a really good watch overall, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it along to someone who might be interested in it. And yeah, we can keep it a secret too. If you really like this watch and you don't want anyone to know that you purchased it, your secret's safe with me. So just hit me up and yeah, we'll figure something out. Also, please keep in mind that I am posting a lot of these for sale on other sites and locally as well, so they may not be available at the time when you message me, or when you see this video, so just a heads up. This is the Holland's Date Just with the silver dial and of course the crystal hour markers and two-tone Jubilee style bracelet with the hidden clasp. Yep. Really like this one. It's gonna hurt to get rid of, but you know, I'm trying to slim the collection down, and this is one of them that needs to go as well. Here we have the Rocos R0101, absolute stunning watch, gold tone with that pearlescent dial, and this is of course an homage of the Tissot Visodate, and so yeah, check that out. I noticed Rocos stopped selling their watches on Amazon for some reason, so you can only get them on AliExpress or directly from their website. So if this is one that you had your eye on and you want to pick up, yep, now's your chance. Yes, the Briston Clubmaster with that humongous crown. Really cool watch, beautiful dial with that sunburst in the green and the hunter green strap. I just don't wear this watch that often, so I figure let's pass it along to someone who will enjoy it and appreciate it. Definitely a unisex style watch with the smaller case. It can fit a man or woman just fine, so keep an eye out for that. This is one I never did a review on, but I was able to pick up. It's kind of a racing inspired type of De Tomaso Racoto watch, and you'll see those hour numerals are real light, kind of faint, fade into the dial, which there's some texture there. Maybe I'll do a review on this before I sell it, but it's just a watch I don't wear, so it's one that I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of. It's got a nice domed acrylic crystal. Moving on, another Filippo Loretti. Now this one I'm going to price at a really good deal for what you're buying. This has a power reserve, the Miyota 9000 series movement. So you have your 24-hour indicator down below, day of week, month, and it does click over after the 31st. We'll go to the next month. So yeah, it's a really nice watch for what it is. Nice Italian leather strap. Detailed pretty well. I know a lot of people gave me hate because I didn't really point out things that I didn't like about the watch, but I was just being honest. I think it's a pretty cool watch. Maybe the lugs, like the way they angle down, could be a little less aggressive, but other than that, I think this is a great watch. And yeah, I'm going to be selling this at a great price. So if you're interested, again, I'll keep it a secret. Just let me know. So this is an undone watch that I picked up, and I had planned on doing a review on it, and like it was kind of an impulse buy. So I learned a lesson with this one. I love the One Piece reference in the back. Everyone is a child of the sea. Blackbeard, really cool. And I think the person who owned this, it was part of the Costa Rica, I forget what it is, American Society of Civil Engineers. There you go. And I picked this up for a good price, but I don't wear it, and I thought I would wear it more, and I just don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and sell it. And a lot of these watches, guys, I'm just trying to break even or give a good deal on. So if you like the look of this one, let me know. Yes, this Skimmy drum watch, really cool. Did my review not too long ago on this piece, and it's a fun watch, just really different. And this is something that if you ever wanted to experience, and you know, it's not a very expensive watch, but hit me up and we'll make a deal. You can check out the drum watch for yourself. All right, next up, the Orient. I mean, it wouldn't be a watch collection without an Orient watch. I did go for the quartz. I wanted a little bit thinner dress watch option, and this thing, very elegant with the Roman numerals, day-date complication, a nice sunburst dial. I just don't wear it because I don't get dressed up a whole lot, and if I was going to get dressed up, there's so many other watches that I own I would reach for much more often than going for the Orient. So while it's a great watch on its own, I don't wear it, and so I'm going to go ahead and sell it. All right, the Feiss FM019. I know you guys are thinking, what the heck? I'm selling this watch. Why would I sell this watch if you know how much I love it? And the reason being is, yeah, I have spent a lot of time with this watch, and I like it so much, but owning a lot of homages, I have kind of grown an appreciation for some unique designs that take inspiration but aren't a direct copy. And you're going to see that with the Rocos here too. So to kind of explain, I want to sell this watch and replace it with the Maurice Lacroix Icon automatic. And so obviously there's a big price difference there, but I want to eventually upgrade to the Maurice Lacroix. And part of the reason is that this doesn't have the water resistance rating of a dive watch. So the Maurice Lacroix, I think, is 100 meters if I'm not mistaken. So I can actually go swimming, get in the water with it, so when I can take it down to the coast and not have to worry about it. Whereas with this watch, while it has the look of the AP Royal Oak spot on, it doesn't have the same water resistance rating. And so that's kind of a bummer. But I know, you know, this one I have the bracelet as well as the upgraded rubber strap. So I will be selling that together. So if you're interested, definitely let's make a deal. And then segueing into, yes, the Rocos R0139. Again, this watch started my channel, and so I was hesitant about selling it for that reason. But again, Rocos isn't selling on Amazon, so I kind of see it as an opportunity to pass it along to someone who may really want it and can't get it, or may have to order from, you know, a different website overseas. Maybe they want to order here stateside and get a little faster. So I'm going to, my plan, again, the water resistance just is only 30 meters, so it doesn't have the water resistance I would like. And then it also has mineral glass, and I wanted something with sapphire, so I'm actually gonna replace this watch with the Agelosur. They have, it's not a direct replica or copy of the Nautilus as far as the homage design, but it's really similar. It takes a lot of design elements, but it's still unique and has really nice quality materials, and the movement's awesome. So that's why I'm getting rid of the Rocos, but I'm gonna miss this one. I can tell you right now, this watch will be missed. All right, so the Bulova reissue of the Chronograph C Stars and Stripes. Yeah, I know. You're thinking, what? I'm selling this watch too? And yes, part of the reason is I want to, again, I don't wear it as often as I thought I would. I have the original bracelet with it and this upgraded strap, so I'll sell that together. But someday I'd like to actually purchase the vintage version of this watch. They're about, I think, $2 to $3 grand, so I'd have to save up for a bit, but I really would like to get that original one. The reissue is great. I love it. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with the reissue. But I kind of like the idea of putting the vintage version in my collection someday. It has a very unique look to it. So yeah, really cool. If this is one you're interested in, let me know. We're almost done, guys, almost done. So we got the bearing ceramic. Again, just another watch, a sports watch, ceramic bezel, sapphire crystal, just a great daily wearing type of watch. But because it has the integrated bracelet and the fact that I don't wear it that often, I think it would be a great watch to pass along to someone who would really enjoy wearing it. Last, but I guess we could say not least, is the Benyar Panerai Homage, that black sunburst sandwich dial, really nice. Again, just keep in mind this is not a full stainless steel case, even though it says all solid stainless steel. I don't want to give the impression that is not correct. This is an alloy chrome plated case or whatever. But nonetheless, very inexpensive, and I'll probably let this thing go for pretty cheap. And I might even include some upgraded straps just to make the deal a little bit better for the buyer interested in this watch. So hit me up if you're interested. You can definitely get these cheaper on AliExpress, so I'm not going to try and compete with AliExpress. If you really want the watch, just buy it from them. But if you're stateside and don't want to wait and just want me to ship it over with a nice strap, let's make it happen. Now, if you're interested in any of these watches, please send me either a DM on Instagram or an email so we can kind of discuss pricing and shipping. If you're in the continental US, I can usually ship a watch, boxed up, everything out for under 10 bucks. But if you're outside of the US, the shipping costs will start to become extremely costly and high. So just keep that in mind in case you are overseas or outside of the US. Again, guys, thank you so much for checking out my State of the Collection video. If you like the video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and you can check out more like this one up here. As always, may the Schwartz be with you, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Take care.